Hey, it's Ellie. Welcome back to another video, or hello if you are new. Today I am back in my Northshore Zoo, building the first part of a beaver habitat. So, the beaver habitat is what I planned to put in this zoo, and I planned it to put it in this area, kind of by the train tracks here, but what I ended up doing was putting it like fully inside the ring of the train track, which I didn't exactly plan to do, but I think worked out because it acts a little bit like a natural barrier for my animals. They do go on the tracks on occasion, but for the most part, they stay inside the ring of track. And I have the beavers in there, and I also have the red-tailed deer. I didn't fully intend to put the red-tailed deer because they're not native to New England, but ultimately I ended up putting them because I felt like they were a good replacement for the regular deer that we have in New England. I don't know what species they are, but probably white-tailed deer, I would guess. And certainly not endangered. But anyway, yeah, I started building the beaver habitat, and once I actually had the beavers in there, they were just so small compared to the viewing area that the guests would have that I knew it wouldn't really work as a habitat for a zoo, like in the game, but also it just didn't feel like there was a life in the area. So that's why I ended up putting the red-tailed deer. And I think it was a good decision because it definitely makes that area like feel very lively and natural. It looks, I think, very good. Might be one of my favorite things that I've ever built in terms of like a nature area, because there's a lot of buildings that I like that I've built, but it's like a marsh basically. It's what I modeled it after, and there are a lot of marshes in Acadia National Park, and so I just looked at a screen cap of a couple of those, and I watched a couple videos that had people walking around Acadia National Park as well. So even though I'm not doing like a full biologically correct recreation, I am trying to make it as realistic as possible in these marshes, and so I used a lot of things. And that video, the full marsh, should come out in a couple episodes. I was gonna try to put it in this episode, but it's already almost 10 minutes long, and I think the marsh would be like another 10 minutes, and I don't actually make the marsh until later because I work on some train stations next and a little diner that is quite cute, and so there would have been a lot of spoilery things if I had put the episodes together instead. So I decided not to. You'll just have to wait for the marsh and the deer and whatnot, and that'll come shortly, just in a few episodes or so. Because I'm working on this area. I'm actually getting really close to being done with this zoo, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, I started working on the town recently, and I'm about halfway done with like the main boardwalk of the town, which it's not going to be a real town. I just want to make that clear first of all, because I don't think my game can handle that right now. There's a lot of trees and there's a lot of rocks, which I think is what's ultimately killing my game. And it's not running very poorly or anything, but it does freeze a lot. As I'm building, I'll notice I have to kind of stop and wait a second for the game to lag to catch up, and then it'll catch up, and I can move my mouse again and my screen will move. But yeah, so I can't don't think like a full town with all these buildings and everything. So I think I'm maybe like 10 maybe 7 to 10 building faces with like doors that look like an establishment of some kind that I probably will end up putting facilities in. I might just put like one of each thing in the town. It might just be like the central location, and then there's restaurants and a couple bathrooms throughout, but otherwise, yeah. I think that would be the best, just to put all of the like eateries and shops and things in the town buildings. So I'm gonna have the main boardwalk with, let's say, 10 buildings or whatever, and then across from like the main boardwalk I've got this area in the middle that I'm gonna do a little park, and I believe I already have one walkthrough exhibit for the butterflies in that area, and so that's gonna be like a, you know, a very standard like Central Park sort of feel. It's not really even a park, it's just like a grassy field with maybe a statue or two, you know, like a historical park. And then the beach boardwalk, which is gonna probably be like the busiest area of the town, I would say, because I think I'm gonna have things on both sides. I can manage it. So I'm in the home stretch, but I'm also in the part that's probably gonna take the longest, depending, like, I don't know, some of these areas where I'm just placing trees and grass consistently, those take a long time to build. But the town is just very, I think I got like 5 building faces done in my last 2 recording sessions, which was probably, how long did I record that second time? No, the first one was around 2 to 3 hours. I think the second one was similar. It might have been a little bit longer. So let's call it 8 hours to be safe. So I got like 8 hours of building, and I had 5 building faces done. So, you know, we've got a bit to go, but luckily it's all coming together. I just want to let you know, I did actually cut an episode that it was a really short 5-minute video of part of the aquarium that I started building on the dock, and when I looked over the footage, it was just boring because it was just me putting like the building framing and some pathing down for the dock, and I didn't finish the aquarium, which is why I don't have the full video for that yet. And I figured it would just be, I don't know, it would be too much for it to switch from like the beginning of the aquarium in episode 11 to like the end of the aquarium in episode 16, or whenever I go back, and it's probably going to be the very last thing I build. So just know, if you see it in the background, that's why I just cut the footage. You'll see it eventually. But that's the end of the episode, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I post videos for The Long Dark every Tuesday and Saturday. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye!